All right, picture this right triangle in the first quadrant of our coordinate grid. So this side we're going to call x because that's on our x-axis. This side we're going to call y. And this is the radius of our unit circle, so we're going to call it r. And the radius of your unit circle is always going to be 1. So if I was to define sine of theta, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse, which would be y over r. Cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that would be x over r. And tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent, y over x. So you can find the reciprocal functions. Cosecant of theta is r over y. Secant of theta is r over x. And cotangent of theta is x over y. Keeping in mind that you can never have 0 in your denominator. So these statements are true whenever your denominator is not equal to 0. All right, keeping that in mind, we have a unit circle, and on our unit circle, we're going to put some points. So these are all the radii of the unit circle. So this distance is 1, this distance is 1, this distance is 1, and this distance is 1. So if you're going to write this point as an ordered pair, it would be 1, 0. This one over here would be -1, 0. This is a y-intercept. It would be 0, 1. And down here would be 0, -1. So now, keeping this stuff in mind, I can find sine, cosine, and theta of these angles. So sine of 0, cosine of 0, and tangent of 0. Sine of 0 is y over r. Y is 0. Radius is always 1. So sine of 0 is 0. Cosine of 0 is x over r. X is 1. R is 1. So cosine of 0 is 1. And tangent is y over x. So that would be 0 over 1, which is 0. All right, next one. Sine pi over 2, cosine pi over 2, tangent of pi over 2. Sine is y over r, so y is 1, and r is 1, so sine of pi over 2 is 1. Cosine is x over r, so 0 over 1, which is 0. And tangent of pi over 2 is 1 over 0, which you can never have 0 in your denominator, so this is undefined. Now let's do pi. Sine of pi, cosine of pi, tangent of pi. Sine of pi is y over r, so 0 over 1 is 0. Cosine of pi is x over r, -1 over 1 is -1. And tangent of pi is 0 over -1, which is 0. And then finally, let's do 3 pi over 2. Sine of 3 pi over 2, cosine of 3 pi over 2, and tangent of 3 pi over 2. So sine of 3 pi over 2 is y over r, which is -1. Cosine is x over r, which is 0. And tangent is y over x. You can't have 0 in your denominator, so this is undefined. So if I'm going counterclockwise starting at 0, sine of 0 is 0, sine of pi over 2 is 1. Sine of pi is 0, sine of 3 pi over 2 is -1. So sine goes 0, 1, 0, -1. Cosine of 0 is 1. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0. Cosine of pi is negative 1. Cosine of 3 pi over 2 is 0. So cosine goes 1, 0, negative 1, 0. Tangent of 0 is 0. Tangent of pi over 2 is undefined. Tangent of pi is 0. Tangent of 3 pi over 2 is undefined. So tangent goes 0, undefined, 0, undefined. All right. Let's use this